Yeah, this ain't just talk. This is perspective. Yeah.
Real conversations, no filter, no script. Different views at the table, everybody gotta speak. From the wins to the losses, yeah, we been through it all. Now we back with a purpose every time that we call. This Cooley in the game, where the real ones connect. Where the truth get heavy and the perspectives connect. We don't argue for noise, we build, we reflect. Every word got weight, every voice got respect. So listen close. You might hear something different. You might learn something.
How y'all doing?
Hey.
Cooley in the Gang show. We are back. Make sure. I don't know why that still was coming out of there. Well, hopefully it stopped. How y'all doing? We back. Episode 2. Feeling good to be here. A lot of you have been following us. G's late. Anybody that's familiar with the show, one thing you're going to learn very quickly is that punctuality is I don't even know what to say.
They already know. We don't even have to explain it.
Thank you.
Most of them been around long enough to know that G is G.
What's up, Linnea? How you doing? We are happy to be here, Professor. How you doing, sir?
Feeling good. Can't complain at all.
I know we got a lot to get into. I know a lot of people want to get into the subject we're talking about tonight, but how did y'all feel about episode 1? Like, you know, back in the saddle. Once again, thank you to Avenue Kitchen for opening their doors to us. We really appreciate it. But how did y'all feel about episode 1?
I think episode 1 went really well. Once we got past the initial, back behind the scenes stuff, the show flowed really well. Shout out to everyone who was there with us live in Avenue Kitchen, as well as everyone that was viewing at home. You guys really showed up for the first show, and even now people are still going back to watch the replay, and even the reels speak to it as well. So yeah, I think it went really well.
Yeah, I think it was a really good show. And like Shannon just said, people are reviewing the past show and making comments, and I think it's important. It's important that we have shows that, earlier today I was just thinking to myself about some of the comments I've seen about people talking about just podcasts in general. And I've seen some good comments and I've seen some negative comments. The one thing that I want everybody to understand about podcasts is podcast dives into the art that is lost, which is conversation. People don't want to have conversations or dialogue. They want to dictate and just say their piece, and they want you to listen. They don't want to rebuttal. They don't want to discuss it. They just want you to either agree or just not say anything at all. But podcast opens up the floor for you to say, I agree with parts, some, all, or none of what they had to say, and creates an opportunity for you to have that same discussion with your group of friends or family or whatever the case might be. But to just say, I hate podcasts is an amazing statement to me, because what you're essentially is saying is you hate dialogue, because that's all it is. That's all that we're doing, is having dialogue, live dialogue, hearing opinions. Nobody said that what we're saying is facts or concrete. It just opens up an opportunity for people to think about things they may not have thought about, or see other perspectives and realize that your thought is not the only one.
That's true. Very true.
Amen.
They just ain't found the right podcast. That's the problem. They've been watching some trashy stuff.
Yeah,
well,
Housewives or some bullshit.
Right. Well, without further ado, I would like to introduce Big G. Big G, welcome, my brother.
Nice of you to join us.
Wait a minute. Am I supposed to turn the computer down or leave the computer up?
Which you said?
Bothering
Turn what?
you?
The
Can
computer?
you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. You can't hear us?
So let me tell you how retarded I am.
Oh,
you gotta push the button to enter the studio. I'm sitting here talking about Michael. I'm thinking Mike gotta let me in, and he ain't let me in yet. And my dummy just didn't push the goddamn in the studio button. Ladies,
Yeah.
lady and gentlemen, what's good?
Before we really jumped into it, I just want everybody was giving their feedback on how they felt episode 1 went. So how did you feel about being back episode 1? I will say, we had some good clips out there. You had a very strong clip, opening up, and sharing something that's personal to you, putting it out there to the world. And I told you before I put it up, I was like, oh, is it all right to put it up? But then I was like, well, you said it on the show, so it got to be all right to put the clip up. But at the end of the day, like, I mean, the love and it kind of goes back to episode 1, what we talked about. Like, a lot of people are going through something, and you expressing your experience that you just went through in 2023, 23.
Yeah.
That you just don't know who you touching, brother. And like, even when you and I talk, and I know you going through it, and I'm talking and pushing you along, you just push so many other people along.
Well, I mean, and that was my whole thing. I wasn't trying not to be, take up a whole bunch of time, because I could talk about my mother for days and stuff like that. But the situation that happened was just so, I guess, kind of unique, because everybody was like, "Damn, was they all 3 together?" I was like, "Nah, it was just 3 different days." And they say death come in 3s, but I wasn't expecting that shit to happen like that. Like, it was just a freak accident, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I just pissed the world off or something, and I don't know. Karma. It was just like I said, something that just happened. So, each one, reach one, teach one, something.
That's your new slogan right there?
Nah,
I need you to polish it up just a little bit, though. Okay, polish it up a little bit.
So everybody saw we dropped some polls. Shannon had the polls up. Did you don't have the results on you, do you?
Let's just say it was like 2 men that said men, and everyone else said women. The poll was what was it asking? Who do they think men or women pretty much Jesus.
Invest
invest in the put more effort into
the
the relationship. Just kind of throwing out a question that kind of lead us into today. And the majority of the people that did say women. I was actually surprised that you said women, but yeah, it was only like 2 dudes that was like men.
All right, well, I'm gonna jump into the clip. If you don't know, episode 2 is the sold out wife and the in stock husband. And those of you that are new to the show, I hope you realize Shannon and I are married. How old is Chase? 15. Married 14 years, going on in September. And we are very comfortable having conversations like this with you all. I don't know where I'm going to be sleeping after tonight's episode. I might be here in Gus and Pat's. We don't know, but we're going to play the clip, and then we're going to jump right into this thing. Cooley and the Gang Show. You got time? Hit that share button. If you're on Facebook, hit the share. Send this out to a friend, because we're about to go in, and you do not want to miss it.
The book is what you see here, which is called Extraordinary Husband and Extraordinary Wife. The thing that stood out to me most is the fact that the one for Extraordinary Wife is sold out. What that says to me, and it doesn't mean it is true, but what it says to me is that women are more invested in salvaging or strengthening their marriage than men are. It's okay if you disagree with me, but here's the thing. The thing about it is, marriage is more than just material.
So I'm going to start this off. Are women more invested? Let's start there. It's a flip of the coin. Professor, I want you to hold back. This was something you already put out there. You already have your thoughts together. Well, I should let you go first. G, you need time to get your thoughts together.
So I
GC
wrote
had a
everything
bunch of
down. I wrote
questions.
all my questions down on a piece of paper, and I
Oh,
cannot.
it's a new year, new gang. He taking note. He got note cards and
No,
shit.
I ain't got no cards. I just had questions because I didn't like the initial statement. But okay,
Okay, so we starting it off. Are women more invested? Or okay, let me give you a caveat. Are women more invested or more visible?
Mm. Hmm.
so I had posted on Facebook. It depends on who likes who the most. And the only reason I say that is because I feel like if the man pursues the woman and he really likes the woman and he's in so somebody posted too like you know the men pursue the woman and it's up to the man to keep the woman, and then after a while if the man kind of loses interest, it's the woman that makes it or tries to make it work more um than the man. So I guess for me, like I said, it depends on who likes who the most and is more vested and is trying to make the relationship work. I think at the end of the day, sometimes it just be a bunch of problems where she stopped cooking, she stopped. Wait a minute, I want it to be, it might be a reason for something. The man isn't cooking. The woman isn't cooking. The woman isn't
You was right the
cleaning.
first time. You was right.
Fuck this, I'm out. Like you just looking for a reason to leave in that situation. Um, do people grow apart? Absolutely. So I, I ain't never been married, so I don't know what your argument could possibly be.
But I don't think
Like
it has to be locked into just a
Yeah.
marriage
No,
thing.
it's
I think
definitely
I
not.
think
okay,
this
so
is
again,
definitely open to
like
just being with just your significant other. Period.
yeah,
Now, marriage can have a different caveat to it, but I think let's start from your standpoint. If you've been with a woman,
and she getting on my
who's more
nerves.
invested?
I'm trying to go hang out with the professor. You come in the house and you start an argument. Why the fuck is the microwave on? And then you storm out, and then you just looking for a reason to be gone. Um,
But it has to get there
Again,
though, right?
you got to get there. So I guess it's got to be the person, maybe. Like if I'm loving you and you loving on me, then what's the problem? When you stop loving on me, I stop loving on you, then there's a problem. Um, yeah. So, and that's why I say for me, it was just like an up in the air type question. I couldn't give you a straight answer at first. So then I started writing shit down. So the further we get into this conversation, I got some more shit.
Okay. So for those of you that are just coming in, well, Professor, you explain it.
So, a friend of mine was his anniversary was coming up. So when his anniversary came up and we just were talking, I said to myself, well, I'm gonna get him an anniversary gift. And I was thinking to myself, I remember,
Yo, we gonna whoop Carlos ass, yo.
you
Facts.
hear this shit?
Is that Carlos?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Carlos, yo.
Oh,
Yo, this motherfucker just got active as soon as I started talking. He was sitting here the whole time wearing the shit out with me, but now as soon as I'm talking, he wants to start moving. But when my man was talking, I was just thinking to myself about when I was working at the gym, and there was a guy there, and he was going through some issues with his wife at home, a whole different person. And he said one of the things that saved his marriage was a book called Extraordinary Husband, Extraordinary Wife. So I remember that. And that was, God, man, that's been almost 15, maybe 20 years ago. So I said, well, let me grab the book because maybe, not saying they're having any problems, but anybody's marriage or relationship could always be better. So maybe there's something in there that can bring them closer. So I was going to grab both of the books. When I went online to get the books, first of all, it was a struggle to find it. When I finally did find a website that was selling it, the one for the wife was sold out, but the one for the husband was in stock. So I was just thinking to myself, which, by the way, is still the same way now. So I was wondering to myself, is this really an indication that women have more vested interest in finding ways to save their marriage or increase, I don't know, whatever needs to be increased within their relationships than men are? Or is it saying that men just don't read? I mean, there's a lot of possibilities in that. But it really was another way to create dialogue about a subject matter that we, especially in the Black community, that we're struggling with when it comes to relationships with the opposite sex. Somebody got their hand up.
Go ahead, G.
So with what Rudy just said, I'm gonna go with women are more invested than men.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hands down.
110%. I'll give you
Hands
that.
down.
With what he
Yeah.
just said, it's definitely a woman. um, and you know, there are a bunch of books, relationship books that are like self-helping, or you know, what was it? Think like a man, act like a woman. You know what I mean? Like those type of books. And that's, you know, men, we're not reading those books until a situation occurs where, you know, like even in that movie, you know, them boys didn't use the book until after they got in a situation where it was like their playbook to make their relationships that much better or easier or finagle or finesse. So yeah, in that case, yes, the woman is always, I'm gonna say 1,000% the one that's more vested.
Okay. So, I definitely said women, hands down, but um I'm not gonna say 1,000% because I do feel like there is a group of men, may not be a large group of men, that are willing to invest and do the work, but I'm not going to say it's not a lot of them. Maybe the way that they invest might be and do the work is different than women. Women are more seeing more out front. You see them, they're like, hey, let's go to therapy. But usually the men is like, nah, I don't do therapy. A woman's going to read a book. A lot of men don't read books. Their way of y'all don't, okay. I said a lot of, I ain't say all of them. We obviously there's some out there. Rudy out there buying books for his homeboy. So, but women are naturally nurturers, and they want to nurture the relationship. They're gonna fight. They're gonna be in church praying. Women are, and I'm not saying that men don't, but that's just the nature of a woman, especially if it's something she really, really wants. And somebody did say something that I agree with to an extent. A lot of times it feels like the men become invested when it's too late. When you're on a losing end, now you want to do the work. But by that time, we done checked out. We gone. We done. We did the work when the work was supposed to be done, and y'all left us hanging.
So what? Okay, what does investment mean?
As far as maintaining the relationship, or
If you're saying that, like, so the professor's like, this book was there, this book was gone.
right.
So that gives a sign that women are more, like you said, vested in fixing
Fixing things.
things.
But here's a problem. Let me rewind just a
Because
little
if I'm
bit.
here, I'm invested. Like,
No,
if-
no.
if-
See,
did I let you talk?
no,
Did I
because
let
you
you talk?
about to, that
I let
that
you
about to
talk?
get you in trouble right there. That about to get you in trouble right there. But go ahead, my bad.
Let me finish. You ain't even let me land my plane.
My bad. My bad.
Now, now I don't even really want to say it, but I'm going to, just because I'm not about to look crazy on the internet. I'm going to say it now. Men would feel like, if I'm here every day. I'm here every day. I show up, we talk, like, in my mind, I invested. Like, I'm here. I am doing the work in my mind. Like, we going out, once or twice a month, getting our little Ruby Tuesdays on, or we going to Applebee's and getting our, 2 for $25 or something. I'm here. Like, how am I not vested? I'm here. If I wasn't vested, then I'd just leave your ass. Like, I ain't got to be here. Like,
No, you don't have to be here, but that's where the problem lies for some men. You feel because you're here, that's enough. But being here doesn't mean you're always present. Just because we go in, this was one of, like I said, we here, we talk. One of our problems for me always would be when we would go out, but Mike's watching TV, or he's doing something. He's somewhere else, and for him is like you said, I'm here. You being here is not enough because you're not present. And if you're not present, then you might as well not be here.
But I am present.
No, you're not. Just because you're physically present, don't. I can walk around with a dummy, a mannequin, just to have something with me. I'm just saying. So that is so if your mindset is that's enough, then that's a problem.
Okay.
And we shouldn't wait till it's an issue to be vested. Every day is a process, and we should be vested in doing the work, and because people grow, people change, and things like that. So reading books and things like that, or whatever it is that you do, should not be done at the point where there becomes a problem. That should be a part of the growing process so that you don't have to do it when it's too late.
So I know for me, I'm gonna go with, invested, like Mike said. I'm here, and that was my question. That was another question. I'm here, like I'm here doing what I'm supposed to be doing. We go out twice a week, Applebee's, we dress up, we go to the movies, we doing the same shit we was doing as I was courting you. Like nothing changes. Like I'm still doing the same thing. But now you decided you want more. What more? Like, and for me, like I'm doing everything that I can, and you want more. You want 3 nights a week. You want uh out the country vacations once a month. Like now, it's I'm doing what I've been doing, and now you want more. So I think back to like grandparents and old people, and Mr. Johnson's been married for 49 years. They've been married for 78 years, and the only thing this motherfucker ever did was went to work and came home. He went to work, came home, went to work, came home, went to work, came home. Came home, they tell you how she cooked food. The food was on the table when he got home. Kids was in the bath. She sent the kids to school. She cut the grass. She cut
The
the
laundry
hedges.
was folded.
You know what I mean? She did all this, and all Mr. Johnson did was took his ass to work and didn't do nothing but come home.
Mr.
And
Johnson went to that lady house across the
you know what I mean? Why does it have to be that he went across the street? So doing and playing your part like is not enough. And then when we talk about getting invested more is when the relationship is on its outs and it's going downhill, and now it's she's reading books, she's going to talk to Jesus, and she's praying, and she's doing this and doing that, and he's been checked out, and she's doing everything. If she checks out and he starts to do everything, he's buying flowers and he's doing this and he's doing that, and now it's too late. It's fucked up that she could check out and it'd be too, and he works and it's too late, and then if she checks out, she just got to be gone. Now she's across the street with Mr. Washington doing whatever she want to do. She comes home and now she's rolling the clothes.
So does everybody walk in the door with the same amount of investment, and it trickles down for one person more than the other?
50-50 don't seem 50-50 no more. Like who likes who most? Whoever likes the other one the most is the one who has more percentage of investment. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck?
You're gonna have everybody. You gonna have wait a minute, real quick. You gonna have everybody fighting because they're gonna be like, "I do more than you," so that means you don't like me that much.
You know what I mean?
Go ahead, Ro.
So to that last part, and I've heard this several times over the past few years. Quite a few women have told me that their grandmother. You gonna say something? You gonna say something, Mike? Oh, that their grandmother told them to marry a man that likes them more, right? So I asked, well, what does that mean? She said it means that it doesn't mean that I don't love him. It just means that I'm not so invested in it that I can't leave, that I feel like I'm not able to leave. So, and I'm not saying that all women do this, but I do know quite a few of them do. They marry based off of their level of comfort, but also their ability to separate themselves from whatever it is that they're involved in. So that's one thing. The
Hmm.
other thing is when we talk about investment, I was having a conversation with somebody earlier today, and she mentioned something. She said women lose more when they leave relationships than men do, right? I said I told her I don't agree. I said I don't think that men win any kind of way around. I think men lose all the way around. The system is set up for men to lose because when relationships are over, men wind up having to pay child support, they pay alimony, and um, you know, it's just well, I'll just say in some scenarios, it could also be like a heartstring. What she said was, which made me kind of rethink what I said. What she said was, when men get divorced, all men lose is a bill. But when women get divorced, they lose emotional ties. They now have to figure out what they're going to do going forward because maybe that income, especially if he was the one paying the bills, now they got to figure out what they're going to do as far as that's concerned. They also have to take care of the kids, the children daily, the emotion that comes along with that because women are emotional. They also have that emotional tie that's going to be hard for them to separate from and break from. And I thought about that and I was like, you know what? Maybe I've been looking at this the wrong way. Now, I'm not married, but it is a possibility that there is a level that's correct about that because she's right. I mean, realistically, if you get a divorce or you separate from a relationship, what exactly are you losing other than money? Now, you might say, well, I don't get to see my children as often. Now, here's my response to that with child support and children and things like that. Men that don't see their children as often as they would like to is either one or two reasons. One, they're really not trying hard enough. If they're really being honest, they're not trying hard enough because most women would love for you to be in their child's life. The
Taking
other
advantage.
reason is because the other reason is because the child's mother is just an unreasonable person. And guess what? There's ways around that too. If you really want to be in that child's life, there are ways to do things. And as men, sometimes I think men get a little bit too emotional. It clouds their judgment, and then they make it so that the judge has no other alternative but to say this is what it is. But if you take it from if you take that from a logical standpoint, hey, listen, I work Monday through Friday. I'm off at 4 o'clock, and I really would love to see my children. If not every day, man, every other day, even if it's just me, stopping by and say, hey, I just in my rational mind cannot see a problem with that at all. That has to be the child's mother thing. That has to be something that issue between you and the child's mother. Does it happen? I'm sure it does. I mean, I honestly,
Unless she's a woman scorned.
That's what I
I
said. This
mean,
is
Yeah,
slippery
that's
slope.
what he was
Like
saying.
that.
there's a lot of reasons why it could happen that way. I'm just
Mhm.
saying that when I say this is not a set in stone statement,
Right.
but more often than not, it's really because the guys are not trying hard enough. Now, you always have exceptions to the rule, but honestly, guys be saying stuff that they want to see their children more, and they don't put in enough effort to try to see them kids, man. They don't.
It looked good on the internet.
Mm.
Me and you both hit the hum.
So, all right, let me ask y'all this because we're about to wrap this one up and go on to segment 2. And don't worry, y'all, it's all aligned with the same subject. Y'all can keep. We gonna figure this thing out tonight. Um. So I don't know if did I ask y'all this. So I made my statement about I'm here and I'm invested. And in my mind, that is enough. Like I'm checking the boxes in my mind. So are men investing differently? And if we are, why does my investment, if it feels right to me, who's to say your investment is right or mine is right? If it feels right to me, so are men just investing differently into the relationship?
Okay.
Can I
So
hold on before you answer? Before
okay.
you answer, I just want to say something real quick. I and I heard you say that, and I heard G, amen that too. I want you to really consider what you're saying.
Mm.
Tell me where you can go at in this world and just show up, and that be good enough. There is
Work.
no way.
Work.
No. Absolutely
I
not.
was about
Absolutely.
to say.
Work.
No, no.
Shit. 2026, work, 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 work.
So
They just want you
you
there.
you
Work. You
showing
ain't got
up.
to do a damn thing. You watching reels all day. Work.
See, you
Showed up.
showing up. You're showing up at work. They have an
Mhm.
expectation for you to complete tasks. You can complete the task in a number of ways. You can do it satisfactorily, right? And you can
Mhm.
also go beyond satisfactory. Whatever that looks like. I don't care if you're putting boxes on the shelves. Instead of them being crooked, you're making sure they're straight. Instead of them one of them busting open at the bottom, you're making sure that the one that's the heaviest is at the bottom and the ones that's lighter at the top. Whatever that might look like. There is always a way that you can make a situation a little better, no matter how consistent or how often you do something. Yeah, it really does not matter. The thing about
Absolutely.
the thing about that is when you're in a relationship with somebody, it is your job. You know, there was a comedian that said this, and I've used this statement many times. He said, "Show me a man that is dating multiple women, and I'll show you multiple women that's unsatisfied." He said, because loving a woman is a full-time job. And he's right. How can you possibly um, just show up and just be in the room and really think that you are loving your woman properly, yo?
So, and that's what that was my thing. I amen what Mike said, because in the beginning, if that's what the relationship was built on, we just coming together.
Uh-huh.
We just came together. Like, we together, we hanging out, we doing whatever we doing. It's the bare fucking minimum. We had the bare minimum of just showing up. Now, you're right. You can't just go to work and just not do anything. Okay, I go to work, I take a shit, I come back, take 15 more minutes, I got to take lunch. Work. I'm here. Like, they just want you to be in the building. And that's what I'm saying. With the relationship, I'm in the building. Like, I'm here. I'm here. If you need me, call me. If you don't need me, leave me the fuck alone.
Then you're not
Now,
in a relationship. Then you're not in a relationship. Then that's just
So,
your homegirl.
so that's what I'm saying. In the beginning, if that's what it was, and you just showed up, sure. Now, I just saw somebody say something about going the extra mile. It's not going the extra mile when you are. I'm here. We're going on dates. I'm buying flowers. I'm rubbing your feet. I'm showing you some affection. You my
Well, then
go-to.
that's not just being present. Then so
Yeah, that
you're
is. Why
talking about
not? That,
that's not just being present.
I'm
That's
here.
not just right, but you're doing the things like
No,
you're
no, but
doing the
that's
things.
what Mike said. I'm here. I'm vested. Mike's vested was going to Applebee's. We're doing here. We're doing relationship
Okay,
shit.
right. But just because you do relationships things, as I said in the example that I used, yes, we're doing relationship things. We're going on dates, but in the date, I fell alone because we're not talking. You're watching TV. Your mind.
That is so not fair. I do. I do.
You do,
I do.
and
I do.
you do it
I do.
differently now than you did before.
That's because I got
Okay, be quiet. In trouble.
we had our investment in conversation. We had our investment
So
in
that's what I and so for and like I said, I'm speaking from experience and things like that. So it's a difference. You're talking from one perspective, Mike kind of on from a different perspective. So if you're there and we're doing all the things and you're present in the things that we're doing, then we should be good. We should be we should be moving the way we should be moving. But when there's little things that are when people are not present, like you're physically there but you're not present, that's a problem. Or the other issues. So when you talked about, we just started, yeah, those things are expected when you're just starting and just learning people. But I think we're really coming from the perspective of you're in these relationships, you're
And,
in
and
it.
so I totally agree with you as well. So I
Mhm.
think what I kept seeing was communication, communication, communication,
Absolutely, and
communication.
that's what I was going to say. Same thing, G.
And we always end up coming back to the communication part. Every situation we ever come across, it always comes back to the communication.
Mhm.
So again, like I said, in the beginning is one way. You communicate, you tell somebody that you don't like this, I don't like that, I like this, I don't like that. You communicate, wham bam, 20 kids later, 35
Right.
years later, y'all still together.
So, Mike, what was your question again? Because I felt like I wanted to respond to that.
are men
Uh,
investing differently?
okay. Yeah.
That one?
And yes, yeah. So, and it is possible. It is possible that men are investing differently with women. I think once again, two things: men are providers, men are protectors. So for them, a lot of times that's their investment. I'm providing for the family. I'm the protector. I'm the da 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 da. We're the women. We're the emotional ones. We want the hand holding. We want the talking all day. We want the other side of the spectrum. And if the two are not meeting in the middle, then that's where conflict comes into play. But then what happens is, goes back to G, when the issue arises, there's no communication. And that's when things elevate and become more of a problem. And then sometimes when there is communication, there's one that's saying like, "Oh, well, I ain't seen nothing. I didn't think there was a problem. Oh, I thought we were good." Instead of hearing what the other person is saying, yeah, you thought we were good, but I'm telling you we're not. So now that I'm telling you we're not, that's when the extra work needs to be done, because yeah, you're thinking you're checking off all of the marks, but I'm telling you there's something I'm still missing. And I need from you, or vice versa, you need from me. And the only way that we can move forward in a way to grow and continue is to hear each other and figure out how we can make those changes to fill those gaps. But if I'm telling you, like, I need more this and I need more that, and you're like, well, I thought we were good. Oh, I mean, I ain't seen nothing wrong. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm good.
That was an actual quote right there.
Well,
That was
I wasn't gonna tell it, but since you told it,
that was a quote.
I'm good.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm
I
not
ain't
gonna
see nothing wrong.
I'm not gonna lie to the gang.
So
We a family all in here.
yeah. So that's a problem. So I think G was, or somebody was saying, what you talking? Okay. So that's where the work, pretty much that's where the work needs to be done, and that's sometimes where the women starts to go get the books and do more to figure out, how can I pull my partner in more? How can I get them to come along on the fix it journey? And then once again, I'm good. I don't see nothing wrong. And this is not you, but I'm good. I'm happy. I ain't think nothing was wrong, even though I heard what you said, but you're not doing the work. So then G, when she checks out, and now she checks out and you want to do the work. No, I ain't got time for you, because I communicated with you. I tried to do the work, but you didn't want to play along. Now you want to play along when you're losing, and you done lost.
Absolutely.
All right, we agree. Go ahead. Y'all can go ahead and wrap.
No,
We're
no,
gonna
no.
go into segment 2.
Go ahead. Go to the next one.
I'm gonna let y'all come back and everybody talk about me. It's all good. You are tuned into the Cooley and the Gang Show, Grown Folk Edition. It is Thursday, 8:38. Please take a second, if you are on Facebook, please go and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Good job.
We will be doing 2 more episodes.
I disagree, but
We'll be doing 2 more episodes fully on Facebook and YouTube. And then episode 5 will give you 10 minutes on Facebook. And then it will be all YouTube all the time.
I'm ready to cut y'all off today because y'all been told there's no reason.
We appreciate y'all. Hit that share button, hit that like button, keep the comments going to help us with the conversation.
Can I do a plug real quick? Also, if you're not following our Cooley and the Gang page on Facebook and Instagram, but mainly on Facebook, we will also be dropping weekly polls and questions and things like that to kind of start stirring the conversations as we lead up to our show. So when y'all see those polls, y'all see those questions, come drop in those comments. Come talk to us. Let's get this ball rolling. And let's start the conversations early so that we can bring it here on Thursday.
Thank you very much. So we are talking about the sold out wife and the in-stocked husband. We're discussing who investment in the relationship, who's invested more. I wanna jump piggyback off of what was said about me. As far as, I'm out in the restaurant, I'm on my phone, I'm watching TV. Well, that's not necessarily my fault, because when I met you, I couldn't do nothing on the phone but get a text message. Now I can watch Tubi. I can watch the game can go where I go. Social media is the devil's work, even though we love it. It's helping us right now. But um, we got to be honest. In 2026, social media has changed the game. The dating game is changed some marriages. If I hear one more female tell me that it's piss in the pool,
The dating
one
pool? Yeah, they
yeah,
say that a whole lot.
it's if it's piss in the pool one more time. So, and then another thing you guys spoke about is how people. I could have swore somebody said something about how people portray things one way, their relationship on social media. I could have swore somebody one of y'all say that?
I don't know. I don't
I don't
think
know.
so. But I think you made that up, but
I
they
thought
do.
somebody said something on that lines. But um is it really investment, or are people trying to keep up with the culture? Are they trying to make it seem like it's glitz and glamours? Like, is it real investment, or is it an investment just to look good
You mean social media?
outside of your relationship? Yeah.
People like attention. I mean, point blank, period. Like relationships on social media is for attention.
Performance versus reality, I should say.
It's definitely performance because nine times out of ten, most of those people who look like they living life, they traveling the world, and they all this and they all that behind closed doors. They going through bankruptcy. They fighting. He can't stand her. He ain't taking care of the kids, and it's just I want to look good for everyone else. I want to look like I got it all, but
So some people's idea of investment is what he or she has done for me, where we have gone, what trips we have taken, what's the newest thing I've got. Like, some people's idea of investment is monetary.
absolutely.
So Corbin posted. I saw Corbin post. What is the definition? I guess what is our definition of invested? 6 years
And
ago,
yeah,
Mike
that's what
used to
yeah.
pull up definition of every word that was said. It didn't matter what it was. Mike had the definition for everything that was. Now we don't have any definitions of.
Because when it comes to an investment in a relationship, it's going to vary. Like, I don't think there is one size fits all as far as investment in a relationship. And you and I have already said, like, in my mind, if I think this is my definition, Shannon's definition is different. The professor's definition is different. And then we have the people whose idea of investment is monetary. Some men or women's idea, I'm gonna just keep it real. Some women's idea of investment is monetary.
Prostitution, baby.
Call me what you want. Like,
Oh, so
it's 2026, social media, OnlyFans. You got like
so what you're saying is some
women.
relationships are transactional.
Yes, the investment. You show me how you're invested in me by what you do for me. That is 2026.
But that works both ways though, because
Absolutely.
a woman, like you said, the woman feels like that, but then the man is like, I'm the provider,
Sorry.
I'll show you my love by the things I buy for you, the things I do for you, where the trips I take you on. So that goes both ways. It's not just men, and like it's not just a woman feels like that. Men feel like that too. That and I guess for some men, because that can go to the flashy side of just being flashy of what I can do, but then it also can go to the side of the men thinking I'm providing. I'm providing a lifestyle for my woman um that she wants or that she desires. I'm providing.
This is
Um,
a good one. Attention is addictive. Social media is the new way to disassociate. Others use social media to monetize. So there's also the investment.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
Go ahead, Professor.
yeah. So you have, I think you have uh, the social media side of it, but then you do have the reality side of it at home. That while we might want to put on a facade on the internet, there's still some real shit happening here. Like, I still gotta like something about you, or
Hmm.
um, something has to be working here in this household in order for us to maintain this. Because I don't care how phony you want to be, um, it comes out. It comes out in the long run. I haven't seen a relationship yet that wasn't what it's supposed to be, whatever that means. that people try to show online that didn't come out in the long run. And most of the time, everybody already knows that. They're
Mm-hmm.
fooling themselves because we already know that they fucked up. We
True.
know people that they know, and we've seen the arguments. We know of different scenarios that have taken place. They keep a secret from themselves. um, the unfortunate side is nobody is really trying to get deeper than the surface with their
Mm-hmm.
partners. That one conversation event I had with a young lady where I was explaining, I guess you call it a relationship that I was having with somebody for over 10 years, only for the young lady that was a therapist there to say that the girl, the woman or whatever, didn't trust me, right? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking like, how she didn't trust me? We've been dealing with each other for 10 plus years. What is it? I mean, what is it not to trust? She said there's different levels of trust. Like she
Yeah.
can trust you with certain things, but her deep dark secrets she's probably never told you. And I'm just thinking to myself, yo, that's crazy that you can be intimate with a person over a span of time, no matter how many years you're talking about. Yo, there's people that are married, have been married for 20, 30 years, and they don't even know the reason why their wife or their husband cries at night, or
True.
why they got to take long walks, and when they take those long walks, they come back like disheveled. They have no idea because the partner just doesn't feel comfortable with telling them that information. As a partner, that should bother you. And if it doesn't bother you, that says a lot about who you are as a person, and it also says a lot about your investment in that
Mm-hmm.
relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Money is cool. Like money is the reason why you're able to do different things. But money is not going to keep no woman. You can. There is no. There are very few relationships that actually last based off of the man giving a woman money. If he's giving her money and she's unhappy in that relationship, I can guarantee you she she's sleeping with a guy that ain't got a dollar. I can guarantee you because
Absolutely.
But
she's
she's going
getting
to
one.
stay in their relationship though.
She might
She's
stay in
she's
there.
she's financially secure over here and pleasantly pleased over there.
Well, not so much
So
mentally pleased. It's like she's probably in their situation, yeah, in that scenario, absolutely. But she's probably getting something from home from the other guy that she's
That
not
she's
getting
not
at
getting.
home.
Absolutely. It's not
So it's
just
not
this.
about
It's
the money all
definitely
the
not
time.
just the sex at all.
Yeah,
yeah,
he could be the one taking her to Applebee's and shit, and he's being present for the questions and the concerns that she has.
and she
Applebee's.
still and she still never gets an opportunity to get what she's really looking for, honestly, because she don't trust that guy enough to tell her deepest darkest secrets, and she don't trust the man that she's living in the same house with for the rest of
So
her
then
life.
she could have a third man that does everything.
She's not
But
going to do. She's
that
probably not
stems
going to
from
do that.
somewhere though. That
Yeah,
obviously that will that if and that go it goes both ways. If your partner doesn't trust you that deeply, a lot of it's something like there's something that happened. There's trauma there. Maybe from a past relationship, maybe from parents, maybe it's something there that has killed that level of trust in people or their partner. So
But they trust everybody else online.
they lie to
well,
everybody else. That shit.
yeah, I'm about to say they lie because
Uh,
they're
It's
not telling the
still.
real stuff online. And then speaking, just touching on what Rudy was saying, like if if you don't
the professor.
yes, sorry, the professor. I don't call him that in real life, so I gotta get used to that. um, I can't. He mentioned like I can't remember exactly what it was, but what my comment was to it was the fact that like especially for women, it's the you don't see me, and if your partner has that level of trauma that you don't acknowledge, you don't see your partner at all, at all. So sometimes you don't know because you don't ask, you don't inquire. Um, I know, like one of the things I would say I say to Mike, like I've said things like you don't see me, and he's like I'm not a mind reader. No, you're not a mind reader, but some. I want you to see me. Sometimes we want, and men too, want your partner to see you enough to know that something's not right and just inquire. Because you inquiring lets me know that you care, like that you care enough to want to know, and that you can see that something's not right. And if you can't, like Professor said, like that's a problem. That's a problem.
All right, let's jump to a comment real quick. So Red Tulip says, I'm playing devil's advocate. What do y'all think about the phrase happy wife, happy life? Does that show men are more invested or not?
I think that's a dumb phrase.
I use that phrase all the time.
I think that's a dumb phrase.
I said that. I said that earlier. I even changed it to when I reposted my thing. I had happy wife, happy life. The wife, as long as the wife is happy, my life is good, right?
That is the truest thing. Women will never understand that.
Well,
but it is 1,000% true.
But somebody had posted happy spouse, happy house.
And that's where I
Okay,
was
I
coming
like
from,
that.
because yes, you could be doing everything to make me happy, but in the things that you're doing to make me happy,
I'm
maybe it
still
doesn't make
pissed
you happy. So
happy spouse, happy house.
so now it's our job to ensure, like, your job is not really to take care of you. My job is to take care of you, but your job is to take care of me. So therefore, we're both in a good place. Therefore, life is good. Life is happy. That's the way I see it. I could be wrong, but that's the way I see it.
Yeah, I definitely don't agree with happy wife, happy life like that. That ignores all of the other aspects of your partner. That's just saying that only thing that matters in a relationship is the wife's happiness. And I'm gonna take it a step further just to say you can't show me a relationship where one partner is unhappy and the other one is. If he's unhappy, trust me, you are going to be unhappy sooner or later because you're going to see that he's not invested. Oh, you want $1,000? Here, take it, throw it in your face. Let it splash all over your face. I'm sick of you. Now, I'm gonna tell you something, right? So I'm gonna tell you how crazy relationships have gotten. I never forget I was talking to a homeboy of mine. He might be listening too. I ain't gonna say his name or nothing. But he said the only time I have sex with my wife is to have a child. Right? He said, otherwise I don't want to do it. So
that's rough.
In my mind, I'm saying, yo, you can't be happy with that. And I know she's not happy with it because she gotta know that that's what you're doing. Like, yo, how do y'all function in that type of relationship? How do you wake up every day knowing the person next to you does not want you? And as a man, how do you feel comfortable with giving a woman your money that knows she's only there for the money? You know the only reason why our grandparents stayed married, for real? Because they ain't had no choice. When we use those older generations back then, first of all, you got to remember a lot, and depending on how old they are, women didn't work, and if they did, they had odds and end jobs. The grandfather was the only one that was bringing in the most money. So it wasn't like she could just up and leave, because where was she gonna go at? And she didn't have so many children that it just didn't make sense. Also, they grew up with a background that says you never leave your husband. It wasn't because she loved him so much. I was telling somebody earlier today that my grandmother told me when I was at an age of understanding. I don't know how old she was. You know, grandparents always seem extra old for some reason. But she said that if she was 30 years younger, she would have left my grandfather. But on the surface, from what I was seeing, I thought they had the best relationship ever. He took his check, he gave it to her, she paid all the bills, right? She cooked dinner, she cleaned the table off, or they might do it together, and we all watched TV together. He wasn't no cell phones, nobody was calling the house. He didn't go nowhere, he didn't drink, he didn't smoke. In my mind, I'm like, shit, this love over here. And then for her to say that, there's something I don't see. And it's probably that conversation. It's probably that little extra piece that he wasn't doing. While he is paying all the bills and he's taking care of the household, she's missing with something that's making her feel whole inside.
Yeah.
And
He was there, but he wasn't present.
yeah, he's just not capable of giving it to her. But what's she gonna do?
Yep.
Go ahead,
She gotta
G. I
stick
see you
stay
grinning.
No. I'm gonna save mine for segment 3 because this is what I had on my paper. I had this on my paper.
All right.
Wait. For you to know what segment 3 is, that means you looked at the rundown.
Let's go, Big G.
No, I just know you. I know you. I know what segment 3 is. I'm excited.
So
I'm
I
excited.
mean, so what actually matters?
It's segment 3.
What actually matters? Wait, what time is it? Okay. What actually matters? What actually holds a relationship together? So far we've discussed a lot of things. We've touched on investment in a relationship, what it looks like to her, what it looks like to me, and basically us finding that middle ground where we both fit into and are getting the most out of the relationship. Does everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
As far as investment.
All right.
Okay. Then we went into social media. I don't think I think, it could be split on how social media may affect your relationship. But I think when it comes to social media, you already know what type of woman or man you're dealing with based upon how you met them. If they were telling everything they did on social media already, woke up this morning, had some coffee, got a donut,
Why you gotta do that?
just got finished jogging. I mean, that's my social media voice.
That's your old slave voice.
Right. I was like, what's happening here?
Sound like you got some overalls and a dog named Sadie.
But I think you know who you're dealing with off the top when it comes to social media. Like you know what you're getting. We all know those people that everything that happens in a relationship, we see all the good on social media. And then we see them out in public and it's damn near a domestic. We understand that. But what actually matters? When I say that, I mean, values versus image, foundation versus appearance. What actually holds a relationship together?
I think it's constant effort. I think it's well. First of all, it's gonna vary from person to person. Some people are just comfortable with existing. Some people are just comfortable with being able to wake up and do exactly what they did the day before or the week before. But there are some other people that want more out of life and they want constant effort. Every day, I want you to try. I want you to try to figure out how we can move out of this house or how we can get out of this apartment or how we can take 2 vacations next year instead of this vacation, just 1 vacation that we've been going on. I don't want you to get comfortable at your job. I want you to think about some other opportunities. What does retirement look like? I mean, at this age, I'm sure that some people got to be thinking about that as well. Mm-hmm. What are you doing for your health? Like, I'm not really interested in wiping nobody's ass, and I'm 60 years old. I'm hoping that you're doing something or have some sort of a plan. Things like that are conversations, or I feel like would make a relationship better. Maybe it's just for me, just my thoughts on how I would want my relationship to go. Constantly, let's try a little more. I think that people relationships start to linger and go sideways when you realize that one person is trying and I'm not. I mean, one person is trying and the other one is not trying hard enough, whatever that looks like.
Yep. I agree with that. It's because relationships are not meant to stay the same. They're meant to grow. They're meant to progress. But
I'm so glad you said that. Oh, I'm about to go ahead, finish.
yeah,
Finish.
whatever. So therefore, work has to be done. The conversations, like Rudy said, has to be had in order for that to happen. Because if not, then people get comfortable, they get bored, they lose interest. That's when people start saying, I always wonder, like, when people like, I done fell out of love with their partner, is like, okay, how did you get there? Like, especially when y'all are like, and I'll say, I'm not talking about the ones that are out in the street doing each other dirty and stuff like that, but like, what happened? to make you become distant and fall out of love is because they're not communicating. They're not doing the work. They no longer enjoy each other because they're not putting the time into each other. At least that's what I'm thinking. So you constantly have to, like Rudy was saying, like, have the conversations, do the work, plan. If we're talking and I'm planning for the future, but you talking about right here and now, then I know that maybe you don't want to go where I want to go. Maybe what my future looks like and your future looks like it's not the same. So then that's a whole nother conversation. So yeah,
Shannon. Now, if y'all notice, Shannon said you said grow, right?
I said grow.
Yes, she said grow.
I
Now,
don't. I haven't grown.
I'm going to be so transparent right now.
Oh Lord.
The biggest hurdle I feel like Shannon and I had is she grew and didn't tell me. And when I say that, it's like you come into a relationship one way and things are a certain way. Shannon is tough. Shannon, she's done a lot on her own before we met. And when you meet a woman that's kind of been on their own, doing for themselves, and then y'all get together, it is a transition. And even still to this day, like Shannon is very independent. Somewhere along the line, Shannon has hit her soft girl era, and I wasn't made aware that it was coming. So a lot of the things that Shannon is looking for and expecting, I had to catch up because I'm like, well, that wasn't how it wasn't needed before. And I hear, well, that's how it is now. How was that voice? Was that better?
You get on somebody's last.
So when you ask the question, what actually matters? I think the biggest thing that actually matters is the conversation, because Shannon could have just been quiet and held it all internally, still looking at me, expecting me to adjust to something that I had no idea was happening. But you got to have the conversation.
True, very true. But also, I do also feel like part of that is also knowing your partner and seeing your partner, because I think certain changes, if you're really paying attention and see your partner, you will see. You'll see them start to happen. But yes, if things that used to work no longer works in those situations, you're definitely right. You're not a mind reader. So in order for you to know that no, I don't like to do X, Y, and Z anymore, I have to tell you that so that you can either make the adjustments or not make the adjustments, and then we go from there. So you're right.
And me not making the adjustment is a lack of
Well, no,
investment.
no, it depends on what it is. Like, I mean, I don't think everything is not as serious. So, I mean, like, it could be some things that I may change in you and be like, yo, really, Shannon? Like, really, really, really? And there's and then those places, that's where compromise has to come in. But then there's other things that are, like, really important.
What's up, Mac? Sorry, I took y'all on the pivot. I'm sorry, but she used a trigger word, and I had to jump in. G, don't look like that, bro.
I'm mad that you mad that I ain't trying to be tough all my life.
I mean, when I say Shannon here, her soft girl era, like, no, she in her soft girl era now. Like the abuse has tapered down a lot. Like,
Congratulations.
Tapered down a lot.
Congratulations.
Whatever.
So like I said, we're discussing what actually matters. I asked you guys what holds the relationship together. I don't even know if this is a fair question, but are we focused on the wrong priorities?
Absolutely.
I think. Okay, brother.
Absolutely.
Said no ifs, ands, or buts.
So, are you asking? Are you going to ask a question about is love enough? Are you asking a question like that?
Oh, that was it. He's asking.
Oh, you asking me? Am I asking something like that?
No, but you can tie it in because that's a good one.
So, first of all, most people most people in dating really don't ask about foundational understanding. Like they don't really ask about your childhood. They don't really want to know about your trauma issues, or because trauma is a fucking buzzword now. Everybody got trauma and childhood issues and everything. Not saying there's anything wrong with that, but you know, I, I think it's a little overused, and I think it's a crutch for a lot of people because that's another issue. But anyway, uh, I, I don't think that the right questions are being asked. I think people get into relationships, whether we're talking about marriage or just couple scenarios, and you don't want to know vital things. Like you might be sleeping with a, you might be dealing with a fucking pedophile. You have no idea because you ain't asked none of those questions. You haven't invested any energy into trying to figure out who this person is as an individual. Then when you get married to the person, you find out. It always amazed me when especially women say stuff like, "I didn't know he was abusive." I guess you didn't, because all you wanted to know is he had enough money to pay the bills, and he does have enough money, but he's gonna take his ass whipping with it. So it's vital things that you need to ask and be a part of. Now, the thing I was getting ready to say, just real quick, the question about is love enough? That's a very interesting, or I hear people say that love is not enough. That's a very interesting take, and the reason why I say that's an interesting take is because, and I feel like we've talked about this on a previous show. Most of the time, the people that say that love is not enough are the same people that claim that they're Christians. How are you gonna be a Christian and say love is not enough? And the only reason
Hear the gunshots, Mike. Pew! Shoot the gun. Shoot
and
the gun.
the only reason why you are in whatever position that you consider yourself in is because the love of for God so loved the world that he
Yeah.
gave his only begotten son. The biggest sacrifice was made. And you're saying that love is not enough. Love is enough to do everything. Love will make sure that the bills get paid. A man that loves a woman will make sure them bills get paid, even if he got to work 3 jobs. Love will make sure that he comes home at night because he know there is no way that I'm gonna be out here and leave my woman at home by herself. I'm gonna make a way. I'm gonna figure out how I can make this work. Same thing with the woman. I'm gonna figure out how to make this work when it comes to love. I think people look at love from a feeling perspective because we have the word love all mixed up and wrong. Love is more about love is more about action and intention. It's not about how you feel. That's some child shit. As an adult, you still talking about, oh, he loved me. How you know? Because I feel it. Man, are you retarded? They're like, nah, that's not how it is anymore.
Okay, so I have some questions. Okay, so how can I phrase this question?
Just say it. It's cool in the game. Real
No,
conversation, real
I
perspective,
wanted
real people.
I wanted to make sense. That's what I
Okay.
meant. Like I don't want to be. It sounds weird, but when you say, okay, is enough because if the man loves you, he's going to do X, Y, and Z. But the man who that or the woman whatever that loves you, and they're providing and they're doing all of this, but once again they're not present. They're paying the bills at home. They're paying the bills at home, but they're never home. But he claims he loves me.
Mhm.
He said he loved me,
Mhm.
and he's doing the action of taking care of home, and but there's gaps, and there's that's supposed to be enough because he's
I got an
doing.
answer. I got an answer to that.
I'm listening.
Maybe he doesn't understand what love is.
Fair enough.
So there's a lady I was listening to. It was a podcast I was listening to, and the lady said the section I was listening to was called "Why Are You So Vague?" And she was talking about women. She said women are extremely vague. She said she does couples counseling, and she said one of the questions that she asks couples when they come in is what problems are you having? And one of the things that comes up all the time is intimacy. So she stops the couple right there and she asks, well, what is intimacy to you? She said, typically, when you ask a woman what's intimacy versus you ask a man what's intimacy, they're going to say two different things because men think that intimacy is sex, right? He's not intimate. Yeah, but that's not what intimacy is, right?
At all.
But that's what men think it is. The same thing with love. Love falls in the same type of category. If you want something, you have to tell him exactly what you want. You can't just assume that he's okay with whatever that is. And you might say, why aren't you holding my hand? And what he does is he holds your hand 2 days out the week. But that's not enough because that's not what you wanted. You wanted him to unconsciously just do it. You're going to have to consciously keep telling him that until it's seared into his mind, if that's what you want from him. Some women just say that they're not interested in doing that. Well, then if you're not interested in doing it, then don't expect it. When conversations, people keep talking about, we got to have conversations. Well, you got to actually have a real conversation. Don't have a conversation and leave pieces out. Tell me exactly what you're talking about. I don't like that your feet stink at night, and I need you to wash them before you get in the bed. whatever that is.
So they can stink just not at night, huh?
But it's also about the timing of the conversation. If I'd have been out all day working, I done just did a 12-hour shift. My boss then gave me hell. I walk in the house. The kids had already sent me 16 text messages asking me for $25 so they can DoorDash from McDonald's. I come in the house. You had a long day. Ain't no food cooked, but you want to sit here and have a deep conversation with me about how you feeling neglected or my investment level was slacked off. My reaction at that point in time is not going to be the best.
That's fair enough. But once again, that being able to communicate, you should be able to be like, Shannon, yo, you probably gonna get mad. I hear you. But not right in this moment. I just did this shift. I barely can think. It's a way that, at least for me, you can be like, so tomorrow, Negro.
You're communicating like a woman.
Tomorrow. Well,
I would try my best to say it as diplomatically.
You're just ignorant. So no, that's the problem. You wouldn't. But
I would try
the same way you say timing, it's a way that it could be said that yes, we do need this conversation, but just not in this moment.
I just say, let me go take a shit.
Well, okay, whatever works for you, but you're definitely right in that. And I just want to just jump back to what Rudy was saying about like the intimacy and like the girl, or people say like, nah, I don't want to have to keep reminding you. I don't want to have to keep telling you. And I think what that is one, yes, we can tell that it's not genuine. So if I tell you like we said, like, I like for you to hold my hand. When we out and about, I want to hold hands. You're going to do it the once or twice because you know that's what I want. And yes, I can.
Are we doing that as soon as we met, or has the relationship evolved to where now, when we go out, you want to hold my hand?
I don't know. Well,
I think the reaction is different. Like I said, and people grow.
Yeah.
And growing.
And you're right. In the beginning, good. If I'm telling you in the beginning, as we're getting those conversations, we're having the conversations, and I'm like, listen, I'm that girl that I like there's my friends be like, I want my man up right here, up underneath me.
Touch is your love language. The love language touch.
Yeah. So if I'm telling you that in the beginning, then it's gonna, okay, then you know that if that's not something you do, or because there's people that can't, like, I'm not a touchy foot, like I'm just not. Then that's something that in the beginning you should be able to communicate to me as well. If it's something that, and I'll speak for myself, being transparent. When Mike and I met, no, I wasn't that girl. I don't need you to touch me. I'm good. Like I don't need you to hold my hand.
Real. Tell him the girl you were.
I was a little nigga. Whatever.
Bump me and go home, Negro.
Whatever. I wasn't listen. I wasn't looking for nothing. It's real long term and serious. Listen, So that was me. But yes, as I've gotten older and I've become more settled, or in my soft girl era, I realized, and I even went to therapy. I even went to therapy, told my therapist everything. And I realized that there are things now that I do desire between the two of us. And I communicated those things to him as well about that. But I know also, obviously, that's not him because he doesn't do it naturally. He doesn't just genuinely.
I got trauma.
And that is a possibility because that's what my therapist actually told me. There's certain things that I expect of you, as far as in time and intimacy, which is not sex, but she told me it stems from things I lacked as a child.
Mm.
And she also told me that it's not fair for me to put that on you because of I'm still, prime example, I wasn't a daddy's girl. So I didn't have my father who always hugged me and told me he loved me and things like that. But now I have my husband who obviously I'm looking for now that I'm out of that hard era. I'm looking for certain things. And she's like, well, that's where it came from. You're now trying to
Make me what?
not my daddy.
Say it.
The devil is a lie. The devil is a lie. Hello. But as I'm looking for those things that maybe as a child, if was filled, then I wouldn't be pressing him as hard for. Because just like, you have y'all that have daughters, it's like it's certain things that you do with your daughters because you're like, I don't want my daughter to ever have to depend on a man because she's gonna be like, my dad provided that. Like, what you doing? My dad did that. But when you didn't have certain things, and like I said, my father was present, he was in the home, but there was still a lack. So those things are conversations that have to be had, and then you got to do the work to figure out maybe where is it coming from, one. But we don't like, and I was trying to say, like, a lot of times I don't want to keep reminding him because in my mind, yes, he's going to probably do it, but it's like he don't really want to do it. He only doing it because I told him. That's like I told him. Like I want to feel it. Like I want it, but I want it genuinely at the same time. And if you can't give it, I'm telling you because it's my job to communicate. But I want you to genuinely feel like I want to do this with my wife or whatever. But because we can tell when it's not genuine.
Of course.
We can definitely tell, like, oh, let me hold her hand today. Get off of me. Get off of me. But at the same time, in my back of my mind is like, I see you trying. So it's kind of like a war.
Do you?
I'm talking to them. I'm talking to them. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
Gee, I know you had something to say.
Here it is, 29, and we have a difference of the time periods. Now you hear people say love language. Like, was love language around in 1985? Like, did people know what the fuck a love language was? You hear people say my peace. Like, was peace around in 1966 when they
It should have been, yes. It should have been.
Okay, now my person. Was my person a thing back in 1977?
No, because they was like, you marrying them. You want my daughter? You want my son? You was married? No, so a lot of times people didn't get to have their person.
You didn't get a person. You didn't get no peace, and there was no fucking love language. So now here it is, 2029, and it's love language, peace, and person.
Okay, I got you, G. You know I'm looking things up for you. The concept of love languages was introduced in 1992 by marriage counselor and Baptist pastor Dr. Gary Chapman.
92.
So 92, we were in what, middle school?
Mm-hmm. Y'all were 11.
Yeah.
Or fifth grade going to middle school, about.
Fifth grade going to middle. Fifth grade going to middle school.
And that's when they dropped the love language thing on us. And now in 2026, everybody's a love language therapist online.
My love language is touch. My love language is shut the fuck up.
So I think I think it was around. I think they just didn't have a name for it though.
Okay, cool. Maybe.
Because
Here we are.
I think people always know what they desire. And all it
I don't know
is
what they
really a
want. I don't know
desire.
about desire. I don't know about
Oh,
desire. What they want. And here
or
it
what they
is. When
want.
we talk about desires and wants. Okay, so what I wanted, and everything's like you growth and you and change, and I want something different now. What I wanted at 25 ain't what I want at 45.
Right.
And
Right.
women are more advanced than men in just about any and everything. I think about Martin. Why men take so long to get married? They think about the 2,000 holes on the freak train, and there's no fucking freak train coming through. You probably had a couple extra ones, but it ain't been 2,000 holes that you think it's gonna come through in the freak train. I found my person. I want to be in. I want to be in love. I want to make it last forever. At 25, you probably wasn't trying to make it last forever. You was doing what you was doing. 35, shit changes. Your perception of love and relationship is something different. And this is for a man. At 45, it's like, shit, I don't want to die alone. Let me hurry up and find me somebody. Women grow, and it's not the same thing for women. The women that see a man and be in love, and make the love work or want to make it work for sure.
So does your 45 hurry up cloud your judgment?
Hell yeah. Now you stuck with the fat white girl who gave you an extra, you know what I mean? She gave you extra chicken at Chipotle because you think she like you and you like her.
Yeah, she liked me a little bit. You be telling people, yo, she liked me, yo. I'm telling you, I get her, yo.
And she, she ain't gonna get nothing strange with no change. And when I come to Chipotle, I get the extra chicken. Absolutely.
She'll come home smelling like old food.
You're racing against time. But again, here it is. At 45, can you find your person? Is there a person that you're still looking for? Or is your person out there waiting to be found? So that's what I'm saying. Like the language has changed, the want has changed, change has changed.
The change. You're right, because we can't get no pennies.
So the reality check. You're looking for the reality check?
Yeah.
If one side feels like they're doing more, is the relationship already broken?
I say no, because I think, and of course it boils down to each person, how much they want it, but I think it's something that can still be worked on.
And y'all realize, like, this conversation also touches a little bit on what we talked about in episode 1 as far as
crash out, check out, burn out.
Not just that, but also leaving too early and staying too long.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I think all of that it touches on that also a little bit. Like, if one side feels like they're doing more, well, what's the timeline? Like, of course, there has to be step. There has to be a conversation. Number one. And I think anybody that goes and plays this back, you'll realize the word of the day is communication.
It's always, when it comes to any relationship,
it's communication.
Always.
It's communication and adjustment. I don't want to say change, because I don't think any adjustment. I'm gonna just say adjustment. But if I feel like I'm doing more in a relationship, and then I say something and nothing changes, and I say something again and nothing changes, now back to what the professor said. Well, is love enough just to keep me there?
So I think if one person feels like they're doing too much, I think the relationship is broken. But just because it's broken doesn't mean it can't be salvaged or fixed. But both parties have to want to do that. Considering the one person already feels like they're overextending their hand. And usually when that happens, it's really just a matter of trying to figure out when is the appropriate time to leave. For me, it doesn't have anything to do with the other person per se. In some situations it does, but more so like when is a good time for me to get out of this situation. And that's just regular relationships and in marriage. Um, there was a question that I asked at uh, some conversation thing when I said, is there a such thing as doing too much for your partner?" Um, I think most of the women said yes, it is such thing as doing too much for your partner. But if you've identified that that's what it is, that I'm doing too much, then that means you're taking tabs and you're saying to yourself, "Now hold on, now I didn't cook 5 times out this week and he ain't washed not one dish. Yeah, I can't do this no more. I'm gonna have to be done with it, done with his ass." So
But see, that goes back to what G said. Grandma wouldn't. Grandma would never.
But
Grandma would
grandma also
never.
didn't work. I done worked all day long and still came home and cooked your
Oh,
food. The
don't
least you
say
can
that.
do is come
Don't
home
say
and
that.
cook. You can
Now,
cook help.
now,
That's her job. That is working. That is her. That was her job.
in fairness, grandma didn't work. Grandma didn't handle the job, and grandma took care of the house.
Now,
In
see, now
fairness,
women will say taking care of a household is a job. Stay-at-home moms say taking care of that household is a job.
It's work, but it's
Now
you
we
in the
we
house.
just came back on the air. We cannot alienate the stay-at-home mothers
You
to
don't
not want to
finish
listen to the
washing
Cool in the Gang show.
clothes. You don't send the kids to school. You don't wash clothes already, did the dishes and all that, and probably already cooked by 12, and you done. So really, you sitting around with your feet kicked up until you hear the car pull up in the driveway or the kids bus, let them off, then do homework.
So that was your plan all those years. You said, "Can I be a stay-at-home wife?"
Heck yeah, and I'm
but
still
in
trying to be home.
fairness, you couldn't. You if you were a stay-at-home wife, could you appreciate being a stay-at-home wife? Like if this guy is paying all the bills and taking care of everything, and you don't have to work, and your only responsibility is to take care of home. Now everybody's trying to figure out what's home. Like what classifies as taking care of home. You gotta wash, cook, clean. There shouldn't be no argument when I get to the house. As soon as I get in the house, no panties on. We home. We taking care of home. I'm home. Here I am. And you can't appreciate. Can you really appreciate being a stay-at-home mom and not complain about? Excuse me, and not complain about anything. Like this. Like what
No,
is
I'm
your
going to
complaint?
complain. I'm going to
You're gonna
complain.
Yeah,
complain.
because you've been in the house
So
all day,
take
and as
your
soon as
ass
I
to
come
work,
home,
and
now
when I
you
get
want to
home,
go
make
out.
sure the kids are fed.
Yes, that's
so
fair.
this young lady had a conversation event recently I went to, and she mentioned it was a question similar to this. And what she said was, well, her question was actually, why do men get upset when they go after women that have things going on, and somewhere in the relationship they feel like I'm asking for too much, right? And what I said was, well, first thing is men have to be honest about the type of woman that they want. This particular girl, she makes probably upwards of 200 plus thousand a year. So I'm assuming she wants a man that makes over 200 some thousand a year, just based off of the conversation, right? So what I said to her is, what you got to understand is the man that you're attracted to, or the man that you want, that you're speaking about, really doesn't want a woman like you. So
Mhm.
of course she was a little offended by that. She was like, "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "Because men that have things going on don't want a woman with an opinion." I said they
Mm.
want a woman that's going to do what they tell them to do, and that's it. When you, but because you are an ambitious woman, you are going to have something to say. Like there's no getting around that. So men have to be honest about the type of woman that they want and go after that type of woman. If you want a woman that don't have an opinion, get a woman that work at Burger King and that she's comfortable working at Burger King. Not saying things wrong with Burger King. She might not even work at all, to be honest with you. She ain't gonna have nothing to say.
She
You
got
gonna come home.
OnlyFans.
She gonna come. You won't, no. You see, got OnlyFans. You're in trouble. She gonna have a whole lot to say because them dudes on there is feeding her all day. Oh my God, you're so pretty. She got a bump on both her lips.
Look at her feet. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Look up.
You are tuned into the Cool in the Gang show. This is episode 2, the sold out wife, the in stock husband. Um, we are coming up on that time where we have to close and wrap it up.
Boo. Say no.
I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. Please keep this conversation going. We're not done. Like our social medias are open, where you can get at the Professor, Big G, Shan or myself, if you have something to say, we like to keep the conversation going up until the next episode. Um, episode
3.
3. Yes. So what is that?
I don't know.
Episode 3 will be.
Remember to make sure you go, if you're not already following the Facebook and Instagram pages,
The
to follow
18th.
those pages so that you can join in the conversations in between. Like I said, we would love to hear your opinions on different topics and get whole views as we go along so that we know what you're thinking, what you're saying, and then we can, like I said, we can bring it to the table when we get back.
Yep. Like the professor said, episode 3 will be on June 18th, and that episode will be the messenger's burden. That will be a good one. Like I said, we are every other week now.
Right?
Yes.
June.
I'll be in Tampa. The professor and I'll be in Tampa. Doing the show live.
Show me how to do this before you go.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get you straight, baby. That'll be episode 3, the messenger's burden. Keep the comments going. Please share this video. Please hit that like if you're on YouTube. Please hit that like button. We are trying to meet the masses. You know, real conversations, real people, real perspectives. None of us are professionals. We just live everyday real lives like you, and we just like to talk to each other and to you and have good conversation. Before we go, let's just do a final tally. Professor, who's invested more, men or women?
I think women are invested more.
Big G, who's invested more, men or women?
I'm gonna go women.
You ain't even got to ask because you already know.
I say women.
I know you already picked it in the poll. And remember, y'all, if you're watching from Facebook, to come on over to YouTube and subscribe because we about to cut y'all off.
You have a problem with Facebook. Like, what is your hate against Facebook?
Because we need what we need here.
You're right.
Okay. You keep playing games.
Thank y'all very much for tuning in. We appreciate it. I know some of y'all used to us doing the 2 hours, but we don't want to flood y'all too much. We want to keep the conversation going offline. We'll have some clips up. Keep sharing the video and send us some things you might want to talk about. This is not just our show, it's your show. And we appreciate you. Without you, there is no us. That sounds like an ad. Shout out to Maryland Soar, our sponsor. We are looking to partner with others out there, and it doesn't always have to be monetary.
We like monetary though.
We do, but hey, you promote us, we promote you. We will do those sort of situations also.
I actually found a spot. I found a spot. I was just at it earlier. Guy Rod Womack just opened up this place called the Belvedere Room on Bel Air Road. It's an event space. He has a huge area where we can actually do the podcast on the stage and have seating for upwards of almost over 100 people, if you wanted to. They got a bar, they got an outdoor hookah area and cigar area.
Like an event to me.
It's something we could put together and do over there if you want.
There you go.
They can do hats first.
Yeah, real fast. I saw the Maryland store. Shout out to Lee. Happy birthday to
Yes, happy birthday, Lee.
Oh yeah, happy birthday.
It was his birthday, so
and Daryl's birthday was Daryl's birthday just passed too. So shout out to the owners of Maryland Soar, Daryl and Lee. We appreciate y'all. Happy birthday. Gemini season is still in full effect.
Up until the 20th of June, and the 21st is Father's Day.
Don't steal our joy. Thank you, fellas, Professor, Big G. Thank y'all. And we're gonna keep this thing going. Cooley and the gang is back, baby. No games, grown folk edition. We'll see y'all on the 18th. 2 weeks. We ain't got no outro, so I'm just gonna end.